Guys, I'm going to show you how to make protein balls for your dogs. Now, why would you make protein balls for your dogs? Now, there's two ways to think about it. One, people make the old school satin balls. A lot of meat, beef them up. The other, we'd use puppy blocks. We give them a little peanut butter and we have fun. Why? Because dogs love peanut butter and it's a good snack. Challenge is making sure you properly balance the fat, because too much fat will run rancid and then there will be blowouts. Stay tuned, take care of your dogs. We're back with the trick, aka it's no trick, people. I saw something and I was like, man, I wonder if I can make the dog some protein balls. What are some other fun ways we can utilize puppy blocks? Now, in one of our next episodes, I will teach you why supplementation is, I don't want to use the word critical, but why it is beneficial to our dogs. But if you have puppy blocks, this is a fun thing you could do in making your dogs some treats. Now, you want to use 1 cup of oats, dried oats, and in that I think this does have a measuring component on it, but as you've seen, I've already made a version of it. After that, you want to add other things that you enjoy or want your dog to enjoy. I like pumpkin seeds, and you can add literally 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. Turn around, and you want to blend the seeds up first, to be clear. When you blend the seed along with the oats, you hear that crack, and then you hear it start thinning out. Now you hear the motor running. It's no longer breaking up any of the seeds. There you go, right there. You got your dust, and that's what you want. You want that dust effect right there. Now, peanut butter, they say use natural peanut butter. From what I saw, it makes some better than average puppy block or protein balls per se. And realistically, I would call these fat balls technically, because when you do what technically don't add no protein, even though we're adding protein in this form of fashion, you're technically just adding the fat. And most, even this right here, 16 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein. This isn't a protein-based peanut butter, to say the least. So I would say that the thing said add a 1/4 cup. When you get peanut butter this thick, I like the spoonful personally. And when I added the spoonful, I got the kind of result I was looking for. And maybe 2 spoonfuls, because it's gonna tighten this all up. And what's going to help loosen it up is adding the goat's milk. So get this, the whole time, every one of these balls gonna have pure nutrition in it. Challenge is making sure you, myself included, don't overdo it as far as the fat's concerned, because we know what happens when a dog or even ourselves eat too much fat. It comes out one way or the other, and in this case, your dogs will ruin your carpet unless you balance it out. So this is also some I would throw in their meals. I like Manuka honey, as we've learned. It's it basically helps fight sicknesses. I just put a little in there, and then literally the recipe, if you find one online, it'll tell you to add, I think it said about a tablespoon of water and a tablespoon of maybe some milk. I add the goat milk, as we know it's a probiotic I believe, and we're gonna blend it up a little bit. Ooh. And if you got any of this particular recipe, if there's ever something missing, you can always add more stuff. You want it to be tighter. Look, we're getting there. We're getting there, and that's pretty tight right there. That's pretty tight right there. Yeah, you can make some protein balls out of this right here. This thing right here isn't the best food processor, to be clear. So that little engine that's running on, it's like the little engine that could, is getting to that place where it can't. And the struggle is getting real. And this just gets tighter and tighter. But if ever you've had a protein ball in the fitness space, Nectar's a place that sells them. They'll choke a horse. So make sure your dog has water as well when you do give them the protein balls. But one of the things that I did to alleviate any of that, or them like choking or eating too much peanut butter at once, was I froze them. So I throw them in the plate in the freezer, and just guess what? I'll show you guys what that looks like because I've already got some frozen ones. And I did 3 different styles of protein balls. So we did one with sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds have a lot of good micronutrients in them, vitamin E, I believe, along with some zinc, etc. And I did one with pumpkin and this, and then I did one with pine nuts, which is super good source of what? Vitamin E, vitamin E, vitamin E. We don't get enough vitamin E, believe it or not, people, and our dogs definitely don't. I'm gonna break this up just a tad bit more if it can. And if it can't, that's fine too. If I want to be a little bit looser, it is working that peanut butter. I'll turn around, look at, there we go. I like a little bit like that. Because it's all going to be sticky either way. Give me a little plate. Use that spoon I've got. Take the blender thing out here. There we go. And mind you, as you see, I don't know if this is actually the best. See? Little still. Now it's a little too loose, right? So what would I add if it gets a little too loose? Let me put this back in here. And then how would you tighten it up? What does a carbohydrate do? A carb literally absorbs moisture. So add a little bit more of that. Some people will go back to the nuts, but what do nuts do? If I actually added any of the seeds or nuts, they would render out some more fat. And the fat is what we want to get away from. At this stage in the and mind you, this is not a good processor. So it might not do exactly what I needed to do. But we got to show you an honest attempt. And I've already made 2 batches of good protein balls, so I ain't even worried about that. I'm just showing you guys the gist of it. You can add as much protein powder / puppy blocks as you'd like as well. And it got a little tighter, but this particular blender is just not going to do what I want it to do, to be clear. So set this down here. I'm going to squeeze one, bring one out here. And we're going to roll 1 protein ball, which is some gloves. This is way too moist, but you'll get a chance to see. And mind you, people, guess what? This is a good snack for you too. Good little protein ball. Boom. I'll put that in the freezer, but let me show you what it's like when you do it right. So we did this one right here. These are our pumpkin ones. They just went in the freezer. Those look pretty good, right? I actually made some blocks too. See how those come out. And then we've got the ones down here that I did with a little more pine nuts. And remember that fat, see that fat sitting on that plate? You can see it there. That's not because they were cooked. It's literally because that vitamin E or them pine nuts, they render out a lot of moisture. We'll give one to Chow now, y'all. Sit. Sit. Relax. Hey. Good girl. As you see, she charged up. She's excited about that. We'll go outside. Go ahead. As I said before, man, thank you for watching. Listen, Puppy Blocks is one of the things that it helps and assists and just improves our dog's overall quality of life. It literally says on there. Build, replenish, recover, restore. What is an amino? We'll talk about that at another time. Go and do a little light research on amino acids and how they impact us. Remember, when you eat chicken, fish, steak, etc., you don't think, oh, that's where the chicken went. It doesn't work that way. Digestion is a process. Making sure our dogs, including ourselves, get the best nutrition possible is a thing. Take care of yourself, take care of your dogs. Make some protein balls, have some fun, use them as training treats, and as always, thank you for watching.